Coach Thando, congratulations. 2-0 win in the derby. Your assessment of the game, please.
Yeah. No. Firstly, credit to the players. But also, obviously, I must congratulate UJ as well for giving us a tough game. We always knew it was not going to be easy. When you play against your neighbors, I mean, these are the kind of games that they transcend, just even the location of both institutions. It's about the history that goes behind both institutions, even way before I arrived here, and even maybe Coach Karabo arrived at UJ as well. So, yeah, it's always good to get one over them. But also, 3 points, very important on our journey, as we also played, a previous game against Opopo. That was, it might have seemed like a dead rubber game, maybe, but yeah, they were a very good game. So to have the guys consist to get another 3 points again, this is very good for the guys. So I give them credit.
Coach, the approach to this game, obviously you worked with Coach Karabo. You know things, the way he thinks, he knows the way you think in terms of football. Coming to this game, what was your approach, knowing that he's someone who might know what you are planning, he's someone who might read the game and know that Coach Thando, when things are like this, he's likely to do this? How did you approach this game? Did you plan anything maybe as a surprise, so that they are not able to read you and plan for you, and so that you are not also predictable?
I think, let me start with the end in mind. Football belongs to players, and they're the ones who make decisions on the field of play. Because yes, of course, we studied the opposition, and rightfully so. You are correct. I know in terms of the players, but they've also changed. They've also changed quite a lot, and also we've been following them, and we knew some of the injuries that they've had as well. But of course, as I said, a derby is a derby. Previous results that you might have gotten against other opposition going into this game, because it's got so much hype around it. Sometimes these results are rather decided by a mistake, or maybe decided by really something that you didn't plan for. But of course, the planning was there. We knew they were gonna try force press us high. We know in terms of the possibilities of the pressing us high or in the mid block, and we also have the profile of the players from them to say, in transition, while we are building, let's get a good rest defense so that we don't suffer some transitions. So I think overall, it was a good first half. The second half was obviously now more about them coming to us, trying to get obviously at least one goal, and 2-0 is a very dangerous goal. Yeah. So we also planned, rather prepared the players to say, you know what, we need to try get the third goal, so that at least we create a bit of security. We don't want situations where they score one and then all of a sudden we start panicking, or maybe we might be resolute, but we must keep the focus at the back so that we don't give away any silly things, Yeah, but knowing each other obviously does help. But as I said, I think end of the day, it's the players that decide some of these proposals that we make, because we can make proposals of overloads, but do they see it? We can make proposals of ball beyond, but do the players smell it? Do they see it? We can make a proposal of mistakes the centre backs might make, but do the players see it? And unfortunately, we did get something out of it. I'm also quite happy that we scored from a set play. It's something that we are continuously working on, because we've got, a new team fairly, So we're trying to create those moments where there's a lot of understanding in dead ball situations as well.
Coach, at halftime you are leading 2-0. You make 2 substitutions. Were those substitutions more about consolidating, or like you mentioned earlier that obviously 2-0 is a dangerous score? Or were they more about let's get the third goal and kill off the game?
Yeah, I think everything you've mentioned. The consolidation is also in an area of saying, okay, actually one of our players we took out had a yellow card, So we don't want to arrive in the next game and we don't have him because now he's got a second yellow, like what you saw again for you, the UJ player, Mujalifa, that he got a second yellow. So we don't want situations like that because in as much as there's so much hype around the game, but once certain moments of the game, you start also thinking as a coach about the next game because we are in a fixture congestion. So we don't want to risk that player. And then we also analyze ourselves to say what different elements can we give to make our attack more dynamic. And I think in that situation, then we decided on a particular player, Taku. There were some mistakes that we created at the back. I also think they were not really mistakes, maybe because of the way opposition was pressing. It was really dubious decisions sometimes. And I feel for the player because we actually was laughing about it at half time, having a lighter chat to say, hey, it's not like you, but not in a harsh manner, but more like, let's get our minds back. The 45 is gone. Let's look to the next 45 to make sure that we are resolute. Let's not give away anything. No crosses. We also anticipate maybe the way they could change the game, and even to our fullbacks, the one-on-ones. Yeah, so it was more about also, lastly, giving freshen up the squad because we, again, fixture congestion. Let's freshen up some places. Some players are not creating mistakes because they are maybe tired, but yeah, let's give someone else a chance in a game where we can still win it convincingly, or we still might have a contest. So let's see that player because it presents an opportunity for us when we are 2-0 up to be in a position of comfort and look and study the game much further and say what does it need from us. Yeah. But mentality was very important.
Coach, like you said, second half you didn't want to concede. You didn't concede. In actual fact, you had an opportunity to extend your lead with a penalty. Unfortunately, you missed. Yeah. You later on bring in Farik and Jeko. Those are attacking players. What was on your mind at the time when you're still leading 2-0? You've had the opportunity to extend your lead but failed to do so, and then you bring in more offensive players in a time where they were coming at you, trying to get that goal that might spark a comeback.
Yeah, I felt we needed to finish the game, kill it off, because as I said, the first 15 minutes, I'm not sure when the penalty was given. I have to check in terms of the minutes of the game.
Around 60 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So it was perfect for us to kill the game with a penalty. Very disappointed at the way the penalty was taken. But we trust the player that he will recover and come back to his senses as well to say, how can he have taken it much better? The run-up, the execution, which is very important. But having said that, we bring on Fariki and Jeko, also from a game management perspective. And as I said, some players, we felt there's nothing in it for them anymore. Let's pull them out. Let's try give them almost like an extra rest because they don't have to play the whole 90. Then a Fariki and a Jeko also, especially with the Jeko, maybe can offer us more ball retention. Because in as much as you are now going at them, they've got a man down after the penalty was taken. Teams that have got a man down in football history, they're the most dangerous ones. They almost got nothing to lose anymore. And as I said, the game is dynamic. In fact, there was a situation that happened, a free kick outside our penalty box. The free kick came from nothing. Came from just maybe a foul that our centre back created, which I felt we're in control. So now the feeling is, let's bring on players maybe who can help us keep the ball much more. And then in the right moments, we can then attack the right spaces. I felt we didn't achieve that 100%, but we still created a lot of chances to finish the game. And when I say 100%, I felt like we needed to rest more on the ball. We needed to circulate it as much as possible so that we could make the opposition now run a lot more. Because remember, they have energy to attack us. So if we can just make sure that we drain that energy a lot more, then it might make them give up in a certain moment and make certain actions not to be contestable. Some actions are contestable and doesn't need us to really be like that. So yeah, as you know the story, it's hard to play against one man down. But yeah, take the 3 points. We'll regroup. It's always better when you've got the 3 points. All other things in the bigger scheme of things you can always work on, because the points are the most important at this particular stage.
Coach, thank you very much for your time and congratulations on winning the derby.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.